All right. And Sophie, welcome to the show. How can we help?
Hi, Sophie.
Hi. Is there a universal definition for evil?
I don't know if there's a universal definition for anything.
For anything, yeah.
Yeah, evil's an English word that we use to describe a number of different things, but they're assessments. If you're looking for, is there a universal concept of evil, irrespective of the language, then I don't think there's a universal concept that any particular act is evil, but evil is a label we put on when the consequences of our actions are in conflict with a preferred goal.
So basically the definition you gave me is when the consequences of an action is contradictory to a goal.
Sure. When we're evaluating whether something is good or evil from a moral standpoint, we look at the consequences of an action and compare those to a goal. So if the goal is, longer life for humans, then killing someone, the consequence of that action is in conflict with the goal, and we could look at that as morally evil.
Okay. So
it's more complicated than that, but yeah, there's no
is universal evil because any event can be have a different goal, right? So if one person does an action to another person,
it's not about the goal. It's not about the goal of the event. It's about the goals of the moral system. And so if the goal of the moral system is a better world and an action demonstrably results in a not better world, then we would put that in more. Evil is a difficult word to do, but we would evaluate that as morally evil.
Yeah, that was the problem, because your definition includes to be a better system, which implies it's a good system, right? So evil and good are contradictory. So you're using like good to define evil. You're basically saying
what's your definition of evil? Sophie, what's your definition of evil?
Well, I'm just trying to get the definition first, so I can like understand what the atheist mindset is for evil.
Okay, so there is no atheist mindset. Even I may agree or disagree about whether or not something's evil. We may disagree with you. So the issue is, what difference does it make what the definition of evil is? If you and I agree that something is not in our best interest, or that is actually in opposition to what our best interests are, shouldn't that be enough?
But the problem is that because we're different people, I might think it's better for the system, but you don't think it's better for the system. So if there's no definition for evil, saying something like "let's build a good society" has
not the way definition.
Like backbone to it. Because you don't have a definition for good.
You're raising an issue that's not a problem, and one that theism doesn't solve.
So it does, but I don't want to talk about that quite yet. I just want to understand what
it doesn't. There is no. Listen to me very carefully. There is no objection that you can raise to secular morality that is in any way solved by appealing to a god. That's just a fact.
Okay. Sure, that's your idea, but I just wanted to get the definition for evil.
That is a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact which I can demonstrate.
So far, what I've got is evil.
So far, what I've got is that you don't listen. That's what I've got so far, is that you don't listen, and you don't want to discuss, and you don't want to defend. You've got some pet notion from an elementary, flawed understanding of morality that you're trying to force onto us. Do you have a solution to this problem of morality?
I do, but I actually need to understand what your solution is first.
I need you to present your solution to this problem that you've raised.
I would love to, but your definition, you're saying that good is in your definition of evil.
I said there's not a definition of evil. I didn't say that, Sophie. Are you going to present your solution to this moral problem or not?
Yes, I will, but I just wanted to ask, so is there a universal evil example that you guys have?
Right now. Present your solution to this moral problem you think there is.
Okay. So I'll just pretend like you did answer my question so that I can.
I did
introduce my
answer your question. Talk some more shit and pretend and avoid defending your stuff again and see how long you last.
I'm not trying. I'm just trying to get an answer, but you're telling me the definition of evil.
Sophie,
and you're using good.
Sophie, shut up and listen.
You didn't use that word.
Your question was, is there a universal definition of evil? Here's my answer. No. I gave you that answer at the beginning. What's your next question on your script?
So there is no definition for evil. So is there an example? If I give you an example.
No, listen. If you're not going to be precise, this is going to go very poorly. You said, is there a universal definition of evil? And I said, no. And then you said, so there's no definition of evil, which is not correct. What I said was, there's not a universal definition of evil. If you're not going to be precise, this is not going to go well. So you said, is there a universal definition of evil? I said, no. What's your next thing on your script?
So is there an example that you can think of? Or I can just give you an example. Would that be easier to help the conversation?
I don't know what your script is, Sophie.
If I give you an example for something that actually is universal evil, then it has to exist. Then the definition has to exist, right?
Okay. If you give an example for something that is universally evil, then that is an example of something that's universally evil. That doesn't mean we have a definition of universal evil. An example of something is not a definition of something. No,
but it does.
The fact that, would you listen? The fact that we have an example, would you listen? The fact that we have an example of something doesn't mean you have a definition of it. The example isn't the definition. And the fact that you have an example of something that would be evaluated as evil does not mean that evil exists as a thing. It's just an evaluation. So what's universal evil?
So I'll just say what I'm trying to clarify. If I give you an example of universal evil,
I literally, okay, I'm gonna mute you, and you're going to listen to me, and when I'm gonna unmute you, and we're gonna try this one final fucking time, I literally just asked you to give me an example of something that you think universally is evil. That's what I asked for. I don't need a preamble, nothing else. I would like for you now to give an example of what you think is universally evil. Here we go. Try it again, Sophie. What's universally evil?
Murder of a human.
Murder is a legal concept.
It is always tied. Oh, fine. Killing of a human. It is always tied.
Okay, stop. I'm going to mute you. So you started with murder of a human. Murder is a legal concept, but now you changed it to killing of a human. So if Eve is coming at me, if Eve is coming at me with a knife to kill me, and I kill her in self-defense, have I committed evil?
It's a consequence of something that she did that was evil.
Have I committed evil, Sophie?
No. Yes, you have, because she was doing something evil. You killing her is still evil, but what she was doing to you is also evil. So if you listen to my definition, what I said was killing of a human is always tied. It's always tied to something that is
I find that
evil.
Ridiculous. I find that beyond ridiculous.
I'm about to take out a room of kids, and Matt comes in and stops me by killing me. Is that act evil that he just did to save the kids? Is that an evil act? Yes or no?
Killing a room of kids, is that evil?
I just asked you a yes or no question. If I am killing a room full of kids, or I'm about to, and Matt comes in and kills me in order to save the life of those children, is Matt killing me an evil act?
It's still evil because there are numerous things he can do to stop you. Killing you is not the only thing.
If killing was somehow the only option at the moment.
You're implying that that's the only way, but that's not what it is.
If it is the only way, if it's the only way he can stop me, is that evil? If the only way for Matt to stop me from killing a room of children is to kill me, is that evil of Matt to kill me?
So yes, it's not the only way. It's never.
So then killing is not always evil.
Stop.
Then
Listen
that's
to
not
me.
universal.
Very careful, Sophie. Listen to me very carefully. You don't get to assert that that's not the only way. You need to go learn what a thought experiment is. This is how we address these issues. So if Eve says, I'm currently unloading a weapon into children, and the only way to stop Eve in this particular constructed scenario from killing another child is to kill her, would that act be immoral? You don't get to say there's another way. In the scenario, as it is defined, there is no other way. That's the purpose of a thought experiment. So if in the scenario there's no other way, would it still be evil to kill her to stop her from killing more kids?
I can't tell when I'm off mute, but
You're off mute.
So, okay. So in an atheist world where there is no God.
Okay, I'm going to mute you.
Oh my God.
You get one last chance, Sophie. One last chance. I'm sorry that you only want to talk about what you want to talk about. But Eve asked a question. In the scenario where she is actively shooting children, and the only available way to stop her from shooting children that you have is to kill her. If under that very specific scenario, you kill her, is that evil? That's the question. Has nothing to do with an atheist worldview. That is the question. Answer that question.
It does depend on your definition of evil.
I'm asking
based on
you,
your definition,
based on your definition of evil.
Like I said, evil is killing another human. So based on the definition, it is evil to kill another human.
So are you then saying that if Matt stops me from killing other children, the only way he can, which is to kill me, you're saying that is an evil act?
Yes, to kill another human.
And your definition of evil is shit. Absolute shit. Because the alternative is
no way.
children.
You can't even define it. You say this definition is shit, but you can't even define evil without using the word good.
You can't. You haven't defined evil.
The word good. You made.
You haven't defined evil. You've just asserted that it's evil, and you've given one of the stupidest things I've heard, which is to deny that self. You gave an example. You didn't.
Of universal evil.
You gave an example of what you think is universal evil. You haven't given me an example of anything that's identifiably universal evil.
So you're telling me somebody going to kill a room full of kids and you killing that person, that whole scenario is not evil? There's nothing evil in that scenario?
The person killing all the kids is doing evil. The person killing them to keep them from killing kids is not. They're saving lives.
Right. But you have to have the beginning of that story to be able to write your story. So basically, she has to kill a room full of kids for you to justify you killing her. So you can't say
that's why that was the thought experiment.
Not bad. No, it's tied to that first part, and that first part is evil.
You made the assertion, Sophie. You made the assertion that it is evil to kill another person. And Matt and I were making the point that that is not always the case, and therefore that is not an appropriate universal definition of evil. Because as this thought experiment very easily shows to anybody rationally thinking, that is not true. That is not evil for Matt to kill the person that's killing other children, if that is the only solution.
I got another one. Sophie,
okay,
listen.
Hold on a second.
No, you don't fucking tell me. Here, you're muted. Shut up. Don't ever tell me to hold on my own show. If I swerve while I'm driving a car to avoid running over a person, and in the process of swerving to avoid running over a person, I hit and kill another person, is that evil? You're off mute.
Sorry,
is that evil?
Oh,
you're off mute. Is that evil?
So, like I said, killing another human is always evil, and you have to justify it because you are.
Sophie, I'm going to mute you again. I'm going to take you off mute. And when I take you off mute, the only words that can come out of your mouth are yes And no, in the scenario where I swerve my car to avoid running over someone crossing the street, if I kill another human being while trying to avoid this one, is that evil? Yes or no? You're off mute.
I already said yes.
Goodbye.
Universal evil.
Goodbye.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Not only did you violate the rule about only saying yes or no, but you have the most, you don't get to lecture us about problems with secular morality when you have one of the most dangerous, broken ideas of pre-kindergarten simplistic morality. None of us want to kill people.
Wow,
but when you equate accidental death, there's a reason in the United States why when you kill another person, it could be first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder, manslaughter, negligent homicide, any number of other things. And that's because we've graduated beyond the simplistic and stupid "thou shalt not kill," which was a lie at the beginning, and remains a corrupted, broken moral system. I'm sorry that it's been taught to you, but we understand that the world is more complicated than that, and that someone incidentally killing someone while trying to save somebody else is different from someone intentionally killing someone to save someone else, which is different from someone killing someone mistakenly, which is different from someone intentionally planning and executing someone. The fact that you have this gross, somebody in chat said, well, at least she's consistent. Congratulations, you are consistent, and you have a consistently broken moral compass that nobody should pay attention to.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Snow, executive producer for The Line and avid candy eater. Hey, if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so now on Patreon or as a channel member with tiers specific to supporting specific shows and hosts. And it also supports our ability to expand programming going forward. You could also leave a super thanks down below, get a little special highlighted comment, and I'll tell you what, you could hit like and you could hit subscribe. Now, here are some video suggestions so we can fudge that algorithm. Go with one of ours. Forget everyone else on YouTube. I'm begging.